Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you're in the basement of the arcade, and there's a cat that's on your head, Violet, and it's digging into your head. And so you sit down. As you're sitting down, Shanine or Cat tries to reach for the cat, ironically, and gets swiped at or whatever. And when you sit down, the cat does actually jump off of your head and kind of run a few feet up in front of you and kind of turn to face you. He looks like he's very. The cat's demeanor is basically not like pissed off, but just more kind of like afraid and defensive, if that makes sense. How like animals can be, and so the cat is a couple of feet in front of you, just kind of like prone, not really like rabid or anything like that, but it is beautiful. It's orange and white, kind of striped cat, and Shadeen, it is your action.
Okay. So the cat isn't jumping off. Can I say "here, kitty, kitty" to the cat?
Yeah, you can use like your charisma ability to try to like be sweet and like or whatever, do like animal calls and stuff like that. So that's going to be a blue Brooks challenge.
Which I have 0.
Okay, and the cat is, like I said, it's not feral, it's rabid or anything. It's not trying to hurt people. It's just like kind of scared and just reacting. What was that, blue? That's 2 with some rolls. 2 more. That's 4, 5. So a 5. So that's a great roll. And so what the cat does is it immediately starts to purr. It immediately starts to like you and kind of approach you and start to rub against you and like kind of go in between your legs like such, like back and forth, like a figure 8. And it's purring. As you notice, there is a collar on the cat that's got a name tag or a name ID. As you reach to like touch the cat to see what happens, you notice the ID, and on the ID, and this is literally printed on the ID, is Asimov the cat. And that's the cat's name that's on there. Asimov the cat.
Asimov the cat?
Asimov. Asimov. Asimov the cat is printed on it. This is a companion that you will have, Shanine. Asimov the cat will always be with you. They will always follow you around. They will always be involved with whatever actions you do or motions you do, unless if delineated by the storyteller. Does that make sense? So you can always assume that Asimov is with you, unless if I say like this is not a spot that you could bring a cat to or something, you would have to leave him outside. Asimov is very taken under your voice or whatever, and you can see that it does respond really well to you and to your voice, as far as like, unlike most cats that are just kind of a-holes or whatever. This cat seems to be smarter than the intelligent, smarter than the average cat, I guess, and would sit or like, come like jump up on you or whatever. And does seem to be very, very a loyal companion to you. Asimov the cat. Okay. And I have the stats for the cat on my end. So whenever you would need the cat to you want to narrate what the cat does, then I'll make the rolls. I know what the pluses are and the minuses are, based on its size and stuff like that. It is a very intelligent cat. That's about all that you know, because it really understands the sound of your voice and things like that. Okay. So the cat is with you and is just kind of rubbing up against you as you stand in front of this giant rectangle tarp or whatever that really replicates this arcade style figure or whatever form.
Can I rip the tarp off?
Sure. Go ahead and make a stone challenge. The tarp is weighted a little bit, and it'll be just a challenge of 1. Violet, do you want to, or sorry, Kat, do you want to jump in at all and help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll add in an extra dice just for helping. Extra die. So what is your stones?
1,
1, 2, 3.
0.
Okay. I've added 1 in. Roll them up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you pull the tarp off rather quickly, and you guys don't really communicate all that great together. And the tarp actually ends up falling on you, Violet. And you're covered with the tarp, and it's weighted. Like I said, it's got some weight to it. And so, okay, so you basically fall over, and you're covered with this tarp, and there'll be 1 strike for that, for falling down.
Okay.
Kat, what you see in front of you is an arcade, an old 1985 arcade machine. It is your typical 2 panels with a giant monitor in the front. It's got your buttons that you mash and steering joystick type thing. On the top overhead kind of title marquee area, it basically says
Jumanji.
Nope, it says horrified. The stakes
right, horrified.
have been raised. So horrified, the stakes have been raised. As you approach it, you can kind of see it's not dusty. It's very new. It's very pristine. On the side paneling of it, you are going to see this image kind of painted into the side of the unit where it says horrified. And on the opening screen of the screen comes up, and it's got some writing on it, and you can read the writing on the image. I'm going to show you. Oh, one second. This is what you see on the screen that comes up that you're able to read.
Interesting.
Okay. Alrighty, so that is what you see for the basic layout of the arcade. Horrified, the stakes have been raised. It's got an opening screen. From what you can gather as the game loads is that it is a game about fighting monsters that are replicated by classic monsters like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Invisible Man and the creature from the Black Lagoon. These are all monsters within this horrified game. And it looks like it's in good condition, and your friend is still under the tarp, and your cat is kind of going in between your legs. And that is going to be the end of episode 2 of The Needs of the Many, Horrified.
Yeah.
And so that is the end of the Weave episode. So I'm going to go through, I would have gone through the leveling up at this point, but because we had the level up at the beginning, I'm going to just hold it off until episode 3. Does that seem legit?
Yeah.
Because I was planning on leveling you for each episode, and so we've done 2 episodes and you're at level 2. And so I normally would, because I want to, the challenges are going to get quite difficult, and so I wanted to level everyone up at least for the first 3, 4, maybe 5 episodes. and then kind of taper it off and see where we go from there as far as what you guys are rolling and stuff like that. And so after episode 3, we will have another level up for your characters. This will be the end of the scene, so everyone can regain any of the strikes and hit points that they, sorry, not hit points, wounds that they've taken or anything like that. And we will end that particular scene and pick up with episode 3 back at the arcade next time. And so that's it for playing Weave this evening, or I guess this morning in the middle of the night, with Ashlyn and Shanine, and me, the storyteller.